I can't wait to hear what you all have to share. Shy Breezy.
Is it me or is Elena cutting out? Is it
Hey, can you hear me all right?
I think it's you.
Yes.
Is it me? Okay, you can
All
hear
right,
me? Okay.
perfect.
Like it's
I'm
you.
gonna jump.
So,
Reboot.
you ready?
Where are you, Shy Breezy? There you are. I see you. Oh, sorry. It took me a found you. Name tags are off, but I see you.
Okay, can you hear me all right?
Sure can. Everybody hear Shy Breezy okay out there too?
Cool. So,
Looks like
I think I've been doing the VR church for about 7 or 8 months, but I'll say that right off the bat, I tried a couple of different churches, and this is the only one that actually stuck. It actually felt like a community. It was well produced, and you guys actually had a game plan. It wasn't just sitting there watching a live feed of an actual church. It's like, no, this is transcending of what VR and the metaverse is going to become. And I'm glad I went with church as my first VR experience because I found this community, and I look forward to this every Sunday now. So thank you all for that, and I just can't wait to see what future holds for all this.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Shy Breezy. And I love too that your first experience was like in VR was church, right? And then you got connected with this community, which hopefully then also connected different opportunities for you to go explore other things in VR, but with people that you've met here that are of similar mind anyway, because it can be toxic out there randomly sometimes. So it's really cool that you connected with everybody here. I love that. All right. Bye, Breezy. Wandering. Aw, Wandering. This is so weird. Every time I call a name, I do get a little sad now. But it's not really sad because hopefully we'll see you elsewhere. Wandering.
Right? Yeah, it's been a really long journey. I got into VR back when COVID first started, back in 2019, 2020, 3 years ago now. Wow. I remember the first time I went into virtual reality because everything in real life was shut down, including the church that I was attending. And so I thought to myself, how can I attend church when you can't go to church in the physical world? And that's how I found VR church back when we were still in that the virtual church that was like an actual church building in virtual reality. They just had this massive room that they could decorate. But yeah, I remember Prayer World where we all teleport and everyone always had problems trying to go to the Prayer World afterwards, or didn't know that Prayer World was a thing, and they were like, where does everyone go after church? It's like, why are they all just gone? And I remember a lot of really great moments in Prayer World where we were able to just share our thoughts and our needs and ask for prayer there. Just have impromptu, just sharing sessions where people would just stand around and just talk about their lives and about their problems and things they were facing and give advice to each other. But yeah, I'm hoping to see more of the same once we switch over to either Rust or VR Church and see what the future holds.
Thank you, Wandering. I love how you brought that up about how everybody's like, oh, how do you get into prayer world? Because that was like this long-standing thing. And what
That's
we
a
really
good
wanted
memory.
to bring,
I love that.
wasn't it? Like it really was. We really wanted to do one of our last services because we've been using older builds in these recent services of the prayer world. We wanted that to be the very last service, is the one of the prayer world. But the guidelines that AltSpace makes you adhere to were very different back then, and so we couldn't use that space. AltSpace wouldn't let us use it. It exceeded the boundaries of in so many ways that it wasn't easily fixable. It would have to be rebuilt, which defy the purpose. So sorry we couldn't meet in there one last time. Thank you, Wandering. You're amazing. Love it. Buddhaman. Buddhaman. You. Buddhaman.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
You can hear me?
Sure can.
Okay. Yeah, my actual first social VR experience was Rec Room using PSVR, and I actually found the VR church in 2019 while I was just trying out an Oculus Go, to see if it would be easy enough to send to somebody. And I went into like the AltSpace, and somebody was telling me it's like I just got out of like VR church, and it was such a moving experience. Like you've got to try it next week. And that was in, like I said, that was in February of 2019. And I mean, of course, I haven't been able to attend every service, but I'm trying to come at least regularly since then.
That's
And
awesome. Yeah,
so,
you and I have been friends for 49 months.
yeah, 49 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rec Room, like, like, there's a lot of children in there, and there is some annoying people. But I've noticed it's also a lot easier to just, like, walk up to strangers and start a random conversation. It's a lot easier to do than it
That
is in
is a good point. I
AltSpace.
hadn't thought about that.
Very good point. Thank you for sharing it.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, we're all just like, wow, that is such a good point. Didn't mean to cut you off, Buddha.
Yeah, that's good. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I'm sorry, Buddha Man. You were saying how it's easier. Yeah, there's some drawbacks there, but also it's easier because you can just more comfortably start up conversations. And then I cut you off. We're super sorry.
Oh, my apologies. I went to the next because I thought Buddha was done. But you can raise your
You
hand if
cut
you're
him
not
off.
done. Apologies.
Never
My
mind.
apologies. That's my bad. I turned off
Okay.
his megaphone to go to Zeke.
Oh, okay.
But Buddha, raise your hand if I accidentally cut you off. I think. But
Hello.
Zeke, yeah.
There
Hey,
you
bud.
go.
Okay. Yeah,
Hey.
Zeke.
So I'm probably more old school. I knew about the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive in 2016 on Windows 7, but I ended up not getting it. I ended up buying an Oculus Go, and AltSpace being one of the first platforms coming in. I had like one arm in the
Oculus
blocking
Go.
I remember.
characters with the nets they had. I remember coming to VR Church probably not until late 2018, early 2019, somewhere around there. I guess you guys were still trying to figure some things out. And then I eventually joined the prayer team, and I would pray for people after service when you had that. With the other prayer team, Star Child. So
Star Child. Look at all these memories, man.
Yeah.
Activating those folders and memories.
Yeah. So after every service, Star Child and me would be after praying for people, and we had to keep people in the event because if they left that event after the time limit, they couldn't go back into the event basically. So we had to keep them in there as long as possible to get through everybody. And that was a really fun memory. And actually, Cheddar's, we were doing, I think, one time we went to Prayer World, and it was Ben Wilson and Cheddar's. He's the one that introduced me to Cheddar's as we walked through Prayer World after one of the service when we were transferring over there for a long time. And
Cheddars, I
then
remember
I just
him.
yeah,
Whatever.
and then
I remember Cheddar's. That Cheddar's guy? Who's that
and then
guy?
I just got
I'm
into
just kidding.
more of the building and world buildings and stuff of that nature. And I've had fun memories here. It's sad to see it go, but it's like the end of a game when you have the game over. It's time to move on to the next. It's the epilogue. It's done. It's served its purpose. And we may be sad because we enjoyed the experience, but that experience always stays with us. Sometimes I'll go back and replay some old games just for that experience, but it's not the same because that first time and that first experience is very memorable, and all the people I've met here are very memorable to me. And just I remember at the time on VR Church, I had looked up VR Church a couple of times before I ended up coming. So I had found you online before I ever joined, and I was kind of burnt out on some physical churches at the time, and so I just decided to go head in, and then I've just grown from there. So
That's beautiful. Zeke mentioned the Oculus Go. Someone before the service talked about the Samsung VR. Who did the Samsung? Like put the phone onto the headset. Did anybody do that? I don't know if there's any. I had one for a little bit. Dennis, you did everything, huh? Cheddar did it too. Oh wow.
Well, I
Yeah,
had it. I
that's
just didn't use it in AltSpace. Like I had the cardboard equivalent, or mine was called something Fly. It was a plastic cardboard. You stuck your phone into it, but I couldn't get into AltSpace.
yeah. The
I don't
cardboard.
think. There was another
Yeah.
thing that got you into AltSpace at one point. Was it the Samsung? There was a particular version of it that
See.
worked with AltSpace.
Yeah,
It
might
was
have been.
the Oculus Go, and then something weird.
Samsung VR. Yeah.
No names. It was Samsung VR.
Remote
Interesting.
Daydream?
Samsung Gear One.
Yeah.
I think it was the
I think I
Samsung
still have it.
VR one. Yeah.
I think I still have it. I
Oh,
don't have a Samsung phone,
wow.
but I still have the device.
Mhm.
Well, I was distracted with technology. Let's see.
Mhm.
I want to hear from you guys. Peter. Yeah, I'd love to hear some memories from you.
Oh, well, it depends on how far you want to go back. I first got involved in VR was back in the 80s, where I took XYZ coordinates and ran through a calculator program and plotted them on a piece of paper. And I had a little viewer that I could say, oh, look, it's 3D. That's my first VR experience.
There you go.
But I'll tell you how many worlds I've had disappear underneath me. I've been in the Second Life for many years, seen various ministries come and go there. And I don't know if any of you had ever heard of Cloud Party. It's an old VR or 3D system that I was trying to set up a ministry for special needs people there, and it disappeared from under. Poof. Well, he sold it all. Goodbye. Sorry about all that. So yeah, this is nothing new to me, but praise God, we're still going, still ministry. I'll tell you one thing. I am kind of determined to put my time into things that are more permanent, like unity projects. So, because it's so easy for the technology to poof, gone. Bad for you. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to making more permanent things. So I'm going to be, I am continuing a ministry I started last year for handicapped, since I am handicapped. So I'm planning on going to all sorts of different worlds, including VR chat, rec room. I understand that there's a few more 3D things coming online, and also I'm getting into is it something blah 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 IO. What's the one with the IO on it?
That's spatial.
Spatial IO.
Is that the one? Yeah.
So I've been learning that. So let's hope that'll become something. But I'm planning on kind of doing round robin in these different platforms. So
Yeah, I love it. That's amazing. And again, I don't want to get you guys light up my brain. I have all these like visions and ideas, and yeah, it's a good point that you made about longevity. Like which ones are going to last, right? And like personally, I think Rec Room is in it for the long run. I think they're going to have a lot of longevity with them. So
I think you're right.
we shall
Amen.
see. Okay, let's see who's next. I think oops. I might have deleted someone off the list accidentally. But if I did, you can just raise your hand again. But Lori Decker.
So I really like this space. I went to all the my favorite memory. I will miss this platform. This is my last time in all states, and I donate to Windmill every Sunday.
Mm.
And
That's
it's
beautiful.
sad this is our last service in AltSpace, but
Yeah,
it's a
it's been so good to
farewell.
have you. Oh, sorry.
But we will have so many memories after this shuts down. But we will have a fun time in Windmill. That will be a third time on Sundays at 3.
Mm.
AltSpace is a nice place. In the couple years, AltSpace won't be here no more, but Windmill will be here.
I love the positive outlook. Let's look at the future. Yes, this is sad, but look what we've got coming up. So I love that attitude. That's awesome. Really appreciate it, Larry.
All right, Jake the Snake. Good to hear from you, Jake.
Yeah. Y'all can hear me. My mic working.
Yes.
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's see. I think I came on here 38 months ago, VR Church. I think my first AltSpace thing was like a New Year's Eve thing because I have my first picture was a selfie for the 2020 year coming up, or when that was, the first night, I guess, of 2020. But no, my first actual VR experience was 2018 when I had the I think the HTC 5 or something like that. Um, Hang on one second. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I came on to VR Church 38 months ago. And I think Elena was a robot. I think that was her player model. Um, I think most of the people were robots, and it was pretty nice. So I decided to come back again and again and again. I had some, homies, friends on here. So I haven't came on like, too often, but I did when I did come on, it was a good experience. So and everyone was pretty supportive of, everything that I had going on. So that was pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Jake.
I love it.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
one of the things I love best is when you called him Jack the Snack. Remember that?
Jack the Snack.
Yeah, so I wanted to like keep calling him Jack the Snack. But I forgot to.
Jack the Snack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria, love to hear
Jake.
from you, Maria.
Okay. Then VR games or VR thing is never in my mind, but because I'm really don't know things about computer or technology at all. I mean, but my son bought a headset years ago and he was playing with it, and then when he was away, one time he lived almost 3,000 miles away from me. One day he came home and he said he put a new set, so he wants to give me his old set. We played game with it, and then he introduced me to the VR chairs. That was about a year ago, and my son is wondering, Megas, do we look alike? Hello. Well, after
Yes,
that,
you can see it even in VR.
and he put me on this outfit, so I love it. So really, yeah, I even though I participate in my own church, a physical church, but I do look forward to come here every week. And also because I'm a little older than most of you people, so I treat you as my children. Like I want to see every one of you every day. Every time I come, I count. I look around and see how many are you here, and I don't see some. I think, and also I like the prayer world. That's how I met Starfire, um, Ian, the builder. You may not remember him, and Eric, and Chet. Hello, he's not here. And then Mr. Green and Mr. Peter. I mean, that's a very nice. Like my son is a very nice place. And got to the sermon. I really thank you because I learned much more new things and my physical church in the morning. I pay more attention. Maybe I learn new things. I really thank you for Pastor Zach and Pastor Coco, even though they are not here all the time. And then of course Pastor DJs and Mr. Benson and so forth. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I hope I when I heard that it's closing, I was very sad because I really love this group of people, young people. I treat them as like my children. So I hope, I pray that everyone will come back, and I want to see you all. Um, and thank you for so good that even though we don't meet each other, maybe not on this earth, but one of these days we'll meet all of you in heaven one of these days. So I really thank you. I really thank you for the VR Church, and also looking for in VR rec. We will meet you all. Love you all. Really love you all. Oh, and also because I work in school with high schooler, so look out for the high schooler. I really like young children. I really do. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Maria.
Young man. Yes.
Yeah, those
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, those words are very, very encouraging. It's just, I think, and everyone's words, like Maria's, just kind of like, it's just encouraging as pastors, is the difficulties, the mountains and the valleys, and that we've gone through, and it just so beautiful to hear that, those words. So, let's see who is next. Let's see, Daniel. You turn your microphone on. There we go.
Hello, can you
There you
guys hear
are.
me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I'm not on VR. I'm on my computer. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit strange and awkward, but my name's Daniel. I have been on and off VR, never like a member, but sort of on the sidelines since like how long has it been? Maybe 2017, 2018 is when the CNN
Yeah,
video
so you're
was.
Daniel Herring, right? Yeah, we met up in Seattle.
Yes, yes. Yep.
Daniel leads the Robloxian Christians. It's a well-known like Christian church there in Roblox, and so yeah, I think it was when we
So
met
it's
in
been great to
2018. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2017, 2018. I think it came out in 2018, so somewhere around then. But I just saw that Terry posted this, and I just wanted to come on and see this, and I just want to say this is truly beautiful. I think it's a testament. Um, Seeing all of you here is just a testament to the impact that VR Church has had on this platform, on AltSpaceVR, but also just in each one of yours life. And I continue to believe that once AltSpaceVR is gone, and really all of the platforms that each one of us is on, once Roblox is gone, and Rec Room and VR Chat and all these platforms, I've always believed that the church is not defined by the place; it's defined by the people. As long as we continue to be in community with one another, we are the church. So I just want to say, as somebody who's been on the sidelines for several years and gotten to know DJ and Carrie and others, and Lena, and it's just been really cool to watch. I really appreciate the work that all of you have done to make this happen. So also one final thing,
Yep.
I think back in I first joined, it wasn't quite as beautiful as this beautiful space we're in right now. DJ, I think you remember the big white shelter, but pretty
Yeah,
cool to
yeah, I think
see
so.
how it's changed. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how it was just like flat grass, kind of like white buildings. But yeah, you're right, Daniel. And even like before VR Church started, Daniel was already pioneering in digital communities, avatar experiences, and so yeah. So Daniel, it's really special that you came in here just to share that. Thank you for doing that.
And I
You have
do
something to
want
say?
to add, yeah, you were willing to come see Daniel in Seattle, but me, no,
I think we did. I
no.
think we.
You've
When did
seen
we
everyone
realize
in
we'd missed
all
each
of
other?
VR ministry except for me.
Yeah, I know, right? You met Carrie at least, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, there she is. Oh, I did meet this sweet woman. Come here, I'm
I
hugging
think
you.
we
Can't
just
get away that
I
quick.
think when we got to know each other is when we just left Seattle. So,
Yeah,
all
exactly. You
right,
guys were
Aaron,
revving
I
up.
think you're next, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to kind of share there. I started VR in the fall of 2019 on the Quest 1. And I found VR Church, I believe, in like the middle of December of 2019. But I was confused on the times and ended up coming at the end of the service. So it was kind of funny. Mr. Pete, who's over there, was the only person left in the space, and I talked with him for probably 10 to 15 minutes. And I didn't try to go to another service until like April. So it was the week before Easter. I ended up joining in for that service. It was like Palm Sunday service. And I remember that you guys had like this basic stone square building in like the middle of a desert with a few palm trees around it. And it looked pretty cool. So I came back for the Easter service, which was absolutely awesome. And then I just I kept coming back each week and then started streaming in August of 2021. So I'm just glad that I can be here for this experience, and I plan to be here and stream for you guys as far as I can. So, and I'm also glad to
You were
have.
going to say for the rest of my life. I thought there was some sort of lifelong commitment you were just about to.
Yeah, I as long as I can do it, I will do it. But yeah, and then also too, I enjoy after services, like joining for golf that we do, the walkabout mini golf after services. Phantom and Alice and Daniel, Dan the man there, and yeah, all kinds of people that come to that kind of stuff. I think Simeon every once in a while. Yeah, Andy right here.
Standing right next to you.
Yeah, we've had all kinds of people jump into the golf. I've seen Alina over there, and DJ's popped in before, and yeah, it's just that's real fun. Kind of like a small group almost, and get to know people a little better. We don't play for competition; we just play for fun. And then the AltSpace is just a nice, solid community. I love seeing, like, especially the different rooms that people have made. I used to absolutely love the horror rooms, like the insane asylums and stuff that you could go to. I don't know if anyone's ever played those. The Halloween rooms and stuff like that, those were fun. But then there was also the education rooms that like had like the solar system and different types of rocks and stuff and automotive setups. So AltSpace is definitely going to be missed, but Rec Room is moving forward. VR Chat is moving forward. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other platforms that are going to be moving forward from here. So hope to see you all there, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Let's go right to Cheddar's. Cheddars?
Yay!
Yay!
Hello. You can all hear me, right?
Hello, yes.
So I'll do some rapid fire thank yous to everyone because I think there's so many people here that have done so much. It's just mind-boggling how this community has come together. Phantom Mythos, thank you so much for doing so many live streams so consistently. That makes logistics so simple for the behind the scenes. You have no idea. Alina, thank you so much for being a pastor and taking over the world building in a rough time and being able to do it consistently week after week and being able to organize volunteers, organizing that. That's insane. And be a pastor. That's insane. I can't get over that. Pastor DJ, thank you for taking the leap of faith, for recognizing the move of the Holy Spirit, for being one who listens to the community, one who's willing to do things not for money, not for fame necessarily, but for the kingdom of God to come to this earth and for people to be saved and for people to know God's love. That is something so rare, so rare. Thank you for prioritizing God above all. I want to thank Aaron for doing the live streams, also for the North American service, and that consistency once again is so welcome and so helpful. But also, you have no idea. It's amazing that my wife, one of the few things she'd do in VR is play walkabout mini golf with you. And so thank you so much for playing Bridging the Gap a little bit for people who wouldn't normally play VR. I want to thank also Pastor Coco, pint-sized robot ninja over there, for not only providing great design insight, I'm sure, to world builds on the side, but also for being willing to take on a full campus, an MMO campus, all on your, like, mostly your responsibility. That's huge. I can't believe, like, out of the blue, just jumping right into it. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for spending so much of your precious time, even as the world of the mixed reality industry crumbles. Not crumbles, but has a rough patch. Zeke, thank you again for being a prayer team member, for how amazing that is. I think that a lot of what has happened in VRMO Church is the hard work of prayers from you, Zeke, and from Starchild, and from prayers from the whole community. So thank you. Keep those prayers coming, especially as we move into the new Rec Room service. And also wanted to thank Carrie Soto for willing to go on the crazy ride that is being married to someone who is literally being interviewed by every single big news corporation and yet has to live on such a precarious income, you know? In such uncertain times. So thank you so much for raising a family in the midst of what DJ Soto's doing. And then I want to thank, of course, Ben Wilson over here, my dad, for teaching the services once a month, which I'm sure Pastor Lena and all the pastors really appreciated. Wanted to thank Pastor Zach for bringing so much of your great theology and great insight that God's walked you through in the scriptures. So thank you for letting God's insight that comes to you flow through you to us. And I also want to thank Alice for your great contributions to the world building team. You know, Alina has leaned so heavily on you to make all these world builds possible, and you have made it so that we can remember the scriptures better. Like, no question. That is quite the honor, to be able to know someone like you, who is so intent on helping people remember the scripture. And then, Miss Pete, I want to thank you. Service, like, pretty much every service. You're just amazing. You helped out at a prayer breeze with me, and went above and beyond the Call of Duty to show me the ropes of AltSpace. So thank you so much for the way that you've inspired me to even come to VRMO Church and to be a part of all of this. Yeah, and to let me know that ministry in VR is possible. And then Chapter Green, thank you also for continuing to inspire research into what it looks like to break down the barriers of physical and virtual when it comes to VR ministry, bouncing ideas, praying for people all the time with me. And I think that's helped out a lot because we've prayed over VR MMO Church things so many times together too. So thank you. Sorry for the long thing, but yeah.
No, take your time. No, that was beautiful. Cheddar, thank you so much. And man, I second all that, and I could just follow along with you. Like, I remember trying to stream and preach at the same time. I'd try to like set the camera up and talk, and then forget
remember
to
that.
grab the camera and leave the streamers way back at the last section and running back to go grab the camera. And so yeah, Phantom and Aaron, and yeah, I mean, so much. We could just go along the lines because really, you guys are doing stuff that behind the scenes that many of us don't see. conversations encouraging one another. Like I know Maria's been encouraging other people, and so she might, people might not know that, but I know these little things are happening behind the scenes in the prayer that Cheddars is talking about. So powerful, so beautiful. Real quick from Twitch, this is Crystal. Crystal's been with us for such a long time, and she's been a host on Twitch.
Take out your trash can.
Uh-oh. Alexa
Oh, your trash
dismissed.
can, Alina.
It's 5 o'clock. We're normally done, and it's time to get to work. Bam! The trash must be taken out now.
The trash.
Be out of
Forget the
church by now.
Yeah.
Trash.
I just wanted to. This is from. Oh yeah, Crystal. From Crystal. I just wanted to say I'm reading what she typed in Twitch. Thank you, Aaron. I just want to say I was so happy to be able to have my baptism in AltSpace. Let's see, mine. I said I can't read it the rest, Aaron, because I think it's cut off. But mine, I watched on my phone in AltSpace, so I couldn't talk or anything. I messaged DJ, and okay. So the baptism, and then there's a second part of the story. She would watch AltSpace on her phone. She couldn't talk or anything, but she messaged DJ, and he put me in touch with Alina, who sent a headset to Crystal. That's so beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. If I'm missing something else that was said, let me know. Just got cut off just a touch. But thank you. Guys, we're going to keep going just because this is our last service. And I know traditionally we've kind of cut the service off at an hour, but we're going to keep going because there's other names here. We don't want to rush that. We're going to watch this video here in a second. But let me have David. David, you're live.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
In the background, but I'll be brief and quick. I just want to say thank you guys for all the work that you guys put into VR Church. Just the whole VR community, this whole AltSpace community. Especially you guys. It is very difficult to get out and about and to have intelligent conversation with like different people and so forth and stuff. But to find a group of believers here in VR out of all the places is so awesome and so heartfelt. Every last one of you guys had always been very inspirational to me, and I hope to see you guys on the next platform wherever we go to. Again, I know, especially for me, this whole thing sucks because there's a lot of events that I go to here. But yeah, I really am thankful for VR Church, and I hope to continue to see you guys again. And thank you very much, DJ, Allison, Ali, everybody, Ben, everyone. Just thank you.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, it's just a good reminder that we're continuing in other platforms, and so like David said, join us over there. Alice, the future queen of hell, is now the future queen of heaven. For those of you that don't know what that means, when Alice first came to AltSpace, that was her name, and then Christ has transformed her, and she is now the future queen of heaven. Carrie was talking about that. That's one of her favorite things. One of her favorite memories, if I can just tell your story, Carrie, real quick, is coming into church one day, and I think it was when Alice started volunteering, kind of like a half, working your way in there. I don't know. But you were, I guess, at the desk at the building that we had, the mega church, VR Church mega church, and you were just there greeting people. And she was like, "Oh, I was greeted by the future queen of hell." So she just got a kick out of that, and that's one of her favorite memories. But anyways, enough of me talking. Alice, I would love to hear from you.
Sorry, there's my eyes are producing liquid, which is
It's my job.
It's all right. Let them.
What are you
flow.
doing over there, Alice?
Yeah, you took Alina's job.
I don't know. I just can't express enough the impact this community has kind of had on my life, to the point where I can't imagine life without the people here, what I've learned within this community, the love that has been shown to me. Because as DJ said, I'm not the kind like coming along the first time. I might not have been the kind of person that you'd expect to treat with kindness from like an outside perspective, and just been bashed out. But yeah, I've lost all my words. So
Oh, that's
Thank
beautiful.
you, Alice.
Yes. Alice has been a big part of our story as well, particularly as we go into Rec Room. The story is going to get even bigger with Alice leading there. I don't know if you ever thought about, could you have seen yourself, well, when's your first time? Let's see, we were friends for 29 months. Let's say before that, you see yourself leading a church one day. Did that ever kind of cross your mind over the years?
I
That'd be
wouldn't
like the
have.
last thing, right?
No, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
imagined
right.
that.
I imagine.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have imagined it would be my like my path either. This is just as much a surprise to me.
I'm
as
not a leader right there. I'm not quite a leader right there. Just,
well, you
just
are
doing some
kind
things.
of like
Yeah, more or
leading.
less.
You're leading me personally through. So there you go.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
following you into Rec Room, so but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll call you. We're just leading. You lead, we follow. So, but thank you so much, Alice, for sharing that. El Michelle, one of our, if you guys don't know, El, where's El? Oh, there she is. What's up, El? El's one of the governing board of VR MMO Church. So, real 2 seconds, real quick. We have an elder board that's more inside VR Church, inside virtual reality, kind of like the day-to-day, so to speak. And then there's the governing board who's outside of VR Church. That's with encouragement and finances and fundraising and some people to lean on outside of the VR sphere. And El Michelle is one of those. But sorry, El, didn't mean to take up your time. I'd love to hear from
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yep. Can you?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect.
Then it's
Yep.
official.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just, man, I am so moved by all of the testimonies in this space. Like, I just wanted to come. I could not miss this uh, gathering before what God really does next for VR MMO Church. Just wanted to say personally to DJ and Carrie, I know I see Carrie behind me. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of how God moved on your heart, DJ, and you had the courage and the boldness to just step out and do what the Lord said in territory, in a land that was uncharted territory. And look how many lives, how many souls have been impacted as a result. So I just want to do what I always do. And that's just continue to encourage you and try to support as much as I can this ministry because God's hand is on it. The Holy Spirit is here. And I just, I'm just so moved by every testimony. I'm just so thankful to be a part of the board and just prayerful that as you take this shift into the next, that God would just show you you and love people, no matter where they are, and how relentless He is to make sure that He reaches them and shows that love. And so I'm just thankful, and I just wanted to say it's been such a blessing being a part of the board and just being in this space today. I'm so encouraged and just so thankful.
Mm. Wow, thanks, Al. Thank you for coming for the last service too. That just is really means a lot. And so, and your words are always encouraging. Anytime we chat, we always go, why don't we talk more? We always do that. Life just gets busy, right? But yeah, thank you, Al, so much for that. And sorry, just a quick side note. Aaron, remind me because I could see myself forgetting. Get a big picture with everyone before we go. We got a couple more on the board here, and then let's see. So we'll get a couple more. We'll gather for prayer. I'll have a couple people maybe volunteer to pray. Mr. Pete, let's have Mr. Pete and Zach, if you don't mind, if I put you on the spot. And let's say Alina. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. Yeah. And
Never mind.
looks
I was
like we
going
have
to say something funny, but continue.
yeah. That's it. Let's see
Yep.
here. Oh, Dan, if you don't mind, yeah, sharing what you got on your mind. Let's see, Dan. Let's see, where are you at, Dan? I don't hear you. Anybody see Dan? Sometimes there's an audio glitch. That's why I'm double checking here.
No, but I see Sky Bison. You're not allowed to run off
Oh,
afterwards
hey, Dan.
without saying
Looks
hello to
like
me.
your microphone's muted. Okay, let me try one more time. I'm going to turn your megaphone off, and I'm going to turn it back on. Should say there should be a button that says yeah, do you see a red
Hi,
microphone? You want to make sure. Oh,
There
there it
we
is.
go.
so sorry. I'm a little shy, so I come to service, but I never really talk or interact. I was hoping to do that coming weeks, but I look forward to seeing you all at the rec center. Thank you.
Oh, thanks,
Oh, thank you,
Dan.
Dan. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
I appreciate it.
And Carrie, my wife over here. If you've never met Carrie, make sure to say hello to her afterwards.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I kept track of a lot. Like I would journal about VR Church, especially in the early days. I would just write pages and pages of notes of just people that we would meet, and then all the roles that people would fill, and our volunteers, and all the early days, and meeting Chuck. For those of you who remember Chuck, and it's just so interesting to look back on the history of VR Church, and it's so fun to see how far we've come. I remember the very first memory of VR Church is before VR Church even had a name, and it was on a Friday in June of 2016, and DJ said, I wonder if it's possible to put a church in here. And then 2 days later, he had a church service. He said, you just did that in 2 days? And then he experimented over the next, winter and spring. And then by that spring, he said, oh, I think we actually have a church. I think I accidentally started a church here. So that was when we established VR Church officially, and honestly, I cannot believe that we are still here 7 years later. That's incredible, and I think that something significant to note is that our teaching team has preached through almost the entire New Testament, and I think that just blows my mind. That is incredible. I think over the course of those 7 years, they taught chapter by chapter through almost all of the New Testament. And you guys, thank you so much, Zach, Alina. I don't know what DJ would have done without you. All of you, Cheddars, Ben, all of you who have taken part in the teaching team, Bismic, we really appreciate you guys. And to all of you that are here with us tonight, this is so encouraging, and what a blessing to hear all these testimonies spoken out loud. So thank you for everyone that has shared everything, and it's exciting. I'm excited to see where the future goes for VR Church.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Carrie, so
Carrie.
much. I had to, I got some tears welling up a little bit because I do remember, or she still has it, just all the journals and logs and diary, if you will, of all of our things. And when you mention, you can't believe our church is here 7 years, 6, 7 years later. When I think about the year of traveling, we traveled for more than a year, but there was a year where we traveled and we did not know what kind of internet we would be running into. So before we hit the road, I was like, oh yeah, these campgrounds, they have Wi-Fi. We'll just be able to, get my laptop, do VR church, no sweat. And then come to find out, these campgrounds have horrible Wi-Fi, the worst Wi-Fi, like barely Wi-Fi. And I can't believe we didn't miss a single church service. And I'm not saying that as a pat on the back. I'm just saying it. You said you can't believe it's still standing here. I can't believe we didn't miss a single one. The internet works somehow. Everywhere we go, we got a little 4G, what do you call it, hot spot something. We were on the shores of the Mississippi River, some random campground. There was zero Wi-Fi. I was like, guys, we're gonna have to cancel church. Like it was, I mean, not even close. And when church came, it worked. Like, and I can't explain it. although we probably could. I can't explain it. Like we didn't miss a single one. We would be in northern or let's see, northern LA, and and there's a whole other story of churches wouldn't let us do VR church in there, and we had to go find like an office to rent in Santa Monica. And so we would drive like all the way to Santa Monica to rent an office and get some Wi-Fi. And another whole side story are the kids, the Soto children, who have kind of been behind this the whole way. But anyway, sorry, I don't want to take up other people's time because I see David wants to speak as well. But when you mentioned, I can't believe it's been here, I just thought of all those times where I was like, this Wi-Fi ain't nothing, and somehow we still had church. I think it's so incredible, beautiful.
I'm not saying this now, but I gotta say, and Jamie, are you in my space? Do you want to come say hello and goodbye to everybody from AltSpace? So real quick, I know we're running kind of late, so a little short. But here's James. She's in my house, and I met her here in
And by James,
AltSpace
she
at VR
means
Church.
Starfire.
The Starfire firepower. Yes, here we go. And the ears are the kind of. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up,
Hi.
Starfire?
What up,
How you
DJ?
doing?
Maria actually mentioned you.
What's up?
Said that.
Carrie. Hi. Hi, everybody. Yes, it is true. I am here with Alina, and I'm on my vacation right now, so yay for me. But yeah, I'm just doing well, doing great, letting everybody know I'm alive and well. So yeah, it's nice seeing y'all.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you too, Starfire. It's beautiful.
52 months.
Yeah.
I consider
52
myself
months.
as one of the founding members. I don't know if there's anyone that's been a part of the VR church as long as I have that's in the room here, but 52 months. And so, and I can clearly remember the first time you called on me in prayer. I was standing high on a pillar overlooking the church. I was a stick figure with an Oculus Go, and you called on me to prayer, and that was one of the most amazing. And I was choking up, and it took me a minute to compose myself, and I just appreciated you calling me, making me feel that that I was of worth, and that God still is going to use me in ministry. At 81 years old, I've been in full-time traveling ministry throughout the 1980s, and the traveling came to an end in 1990. And worked in a flea market as an airbrush artist, but prayed for people there. But actually, kind of always thought my ministry's come to an end. Now, my older age, it completely changed with this little headset thing, and so God is still allowing me to minister.